welcome back. It is Rogers Rulez. There's Kahm Broham, not the guy with the little stash, the one with the big beard down below. Andrew Rogers here with you. That's Brandon Tiedemann. Brando is on the Hurrdat Sports team. I don't really know his title because he kind of just does a little bit of everything and he just goes where he's needed. So we kind of like those utility players on the team. Brandon, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. You know, I'm always good when I'm talking sports, when I'm talking to you guys. I'm feeling fresh. I got a lot I want to get off my chest eventually, but I also want to introduce Brandon and tell people a little bit about your story and how you got involved. Because when you first started at Hurrdat Sports, it wasn't like a full-time gig, right?
Yeah, it was mostly just main events at the bar.
So he starts at the bar, and talk about somebody that was able to grow in just about a year. He's full-time now with the team. Again, I don't know your title. I apologize, but I'm just going to call you Tommy Edmond for the sake of the example, because we're going to throw him in left field if we need him. We're going to put him at shortstop if we need him at short. I mean, this guy, when I was on the radio in Omaha, he was at the bar at 10 o'clock when we got off the air, setting up for live podcasts. And then he was out with the team for a high school football game later that night. And then he was also editing a video or putting together a graphic. So I think the perfect way to describe you is the ultimate utility player.
Yeah, that's kind of what usually when people ask me that, because I'll have like high school and college kids be like, what's your job? And I'm like, well, all the above.
And that's kind of everybody, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that kind of works at Hurrdat Sports can do a lot of different things, but that's why Brandon is such a valued member to the Hurrdat Sports team. So we're happy to have you on the show, Brandon. And the most recent project that you are coming off of is the Baylor Sherman documentary, which was huge. Not only did it make a large impact on the Sherman family, but the state of Nebraska. I mean, people loved the content, the backstory, the behind the scenes. I talk about it all the time. If you can give somebody something that they don't normally have access to behind the scenes, whether it's with the Nebraska football program with GBR Rewind, or it's a documentary like Baylor Sherman leading up to his draft day, it's something that nobody wants to turn off. Like, you don't want to take your eyes away from that. And you guys, you and Kyle Byers was the director, kind of like the main guy of the production, but Brandon was along for the ride. And I kind of want, you gave us a backstory on Baylor Sherman. We got an inside look on what like the interior of his truck looks like. We've got everything up close with him at the draft. I want to know the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes.
Yeah. So how it all started was Anna had an interview with him. It was like 2 weeks before the draft, and he came in just to do like something before he had to go to practices. And then that day, I guess Anna and Kyle talked to Sasha about doing like a documentary. And then I was like, well, I can help too. Like, whatever, you need more than one camera operator. So that's when we started. And then like the next day, Kyle started shooting. So then we went out to Aurora. We were in Aurora for a day.
How many people live in Aurora?
There, not that many. Not. It's a pretty small town. I think Kyle got the whole town in a drone shot, like around in about 5 minutes. So I wouldn't say
tell you, it's actually, well, I typed in Aurora population, but then I think this population's actually for Ohio or Illinois or something like that. Let's make sure we put Nebraska in the mix. But
you don't want that suburb of Chicago.
All right, let's take a guess before Brandon, like, you move forward with this. How many people live in Aurora, Nebraska? I will give you both a window of more or less than 200.
More or less than 200?
Yes.
So it's either under 200 or over 200?
No. I'm saying, like, that's going to be your window. So if you think 10,000 people live there, if you say 10,200, it'll still be a win for you.
That makes sense. I'm going to say 1,500.
1,500 for Cam.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2,500.
Would you believe me if I told you it's almost 5,000?
No, really. If you add ours together.
I was going to say, there he is. The cliffhanger.
I was having flashbacks to last week. Yeah.
Goes in and out. 4,648 according to 2022. So I guess the most recent census. And it's only ever gone up. If you look in 1990, it's 3,879.
You're having a good time there.
Came into the world and said, we need to make more Baylor Shermans in Aurora. So there they go. Now they're at 4,648. Okay, Brandon, continue.
So then when we were out there all day, it was kind of just like hanging out, and then he showed us like where he used to get his haircut. And I don't know if we showed it. I don't think we did, but they have like all like his posters and like pictures of him in the barbershop. So that was cool. And then right next to his barbershop was where he worked out during COVID. It was like an outdoor rec center. So it was just like a hoop and stuff like that. And then we went to his old family farm, which you saw in the beginning. And they don't live there anymore. They live in town, but that's where they'd move all the gravel on there and then put the hoop up.
Do they still own that land?
I don't know if they still own the land.
So were you guys there without permission?
We had permission. I know we had permission. We just couldn't go in the house. So I don't know the length of permission, and then we got.
Can you imagine some guy comes out with a shotgun? Get off my lawn.
The best way I described the house, and Baylor agreed, if you've seen Interstellar, it's the exact same house from Interstellar.
Huh. I have seen Interstellar.
It's just same thing.
Did you guys drive through the cornfield to track down the UFO?
I wish if it was in the fall and the corn was up.
Yeah, that gave it all away.
Come on, man.
The whole movie's ruined now. The whole 4-hour movie of Interstellar is ruined.
Is it really 4 hours?
It's pretty long.
Who's got time for that?
It's 3.
Brandon, it's like 3. Yeah, I mean, that's like Avengers Endgame. Like, that's your afternoon.
Exactly. But then, so his brother was in town. So we went and hung out with his brother. We went and got lunch. Probably best Mexican food I ever had was in Aurora. Baylor said it was, and I was like, okay. And it was super good.
Lived up to the hype.
I could have been super hungry, so maybe I need to go back when I'm not as hungry. So we met his family. All his family lives pretty close in that area. Like his sister lives near them in that area.
I'm shocked that they all live close to each other in Aurora.
And then we got to go to his high school. We got to talk to people in the area. So a lot of that was not in the documentary. So that was all just one day. We went out there, came back, and then the draft was there. Draft night was fun. It was very anxious.
I was going to say, did you feel any form of anxiety knowing that he could have gone anywhere? I think it was projected like late teens to the end of the first round, but the more teams started to pass on Baylor, were you looking at Kyle? Was he looking at you? And you guys were like, I don't know, telepathically saying, "Oh, SHIT." Like, yeah, this may not go well.
You could tell like Baylor was getting nervous, and he like talked a little bit. He was like kind of like nervous about what was going to happen. But a lot of people were saying he was going to go to Boston. I saw like Boston. I saw the Knicks. I saw Washington. I saw the Timberwolves. And so Boston is the last pick of the first round. And then, we saw in the documentary where Coach Mack is like, go. And we went into the room where it was super quiet. Everyone got in there. What didn't make the documentary also was his brother spilled over a paint bucket that was behind his chair. And so he like jumped over it and then must have knocked it over. They had an open paint bucket in there. But I think it was just cool getting to like talk to Baylor and just like hang out with him for a few days. Like he's a super down to earth, small town guy. Like he looks cocky on the court, but it's because he's confident. There's a difference between cocky and confident. So I think he's going to be great in Boston. He's super excited to be there. I know. So.
Well, when you're the best, you have to have some sort of ego. And that's everyone. You can have a lot of different personalities within that ego. You can have the down to earth, the one that's going to sign every basketball, photo or literal basketball on the sidelines. Like every kid is going to get a signature. Like Caitlin Clark, I think, is a little bit like that, where she will just sign away. And then you'll get guys that will just, brush people off. But it all comes back to, if you're really good at what you do, you have to have a form of confidence and a strong ego. Like that's people in media. I mean, people would think in a lot of ways that I'm cocky, but I I don't find myself as a super cocky guy. I mean, Cam is super, super great at what he does on the back end in terms of editing, turning around podcasts, this, that, and the other.
And I'm a real jerk. I'm a jerk.
He knows he's good.
Always tooting my own horn over here. Like, I'm the best. Get out of here. Get out of here, you punks.
But see, Cam is very good at that. And he you have to be good at that. But he's not going to go around and openly say that unless he's being sarcastic on a podcast like this. And Brandon, same thing for you. I mean, you have to have your talents build your ego, and where that ranks you in society, that it's just kind of where the cards fall. Joe Buck, yes, he had a lot of, he had a huge in with his dad, but he also made his own path at the same time. He grew much bigger than his dad, and he has an ego. You'll hear that in his voice. Yes, we desire to hear what he has to say, but you also have to know that people want to hear what you have to say. So again, and a long-winded answer, I think it's understandable that you can see that on the court. Baylor's confidence shines on the court, but it's because he knows he's going to bury 7 threes.
Yes.
And when he's off the court, he's going to treat you like a person. And you hope to get that from all athletes. I was with Carson Shockey just yesterday. PGA Tour player, had a couple of events, played in the U.S. Open. His brother is playing in the upcoming Pinnacle Bank Championship. He's played in a couple Pinnacle Bank Championships. When he's on the course, he's locked in. But he's also the type of guy that's going to sign everybody's cap or golf ball on the way out of 18.
Yeah.
It's just all about people's personality, and Baylor Sherman has a good one. He's got one you want to root for. Keisei Tominaga at Nebraska had a crazy awesome personality to cheer for on the court. He's also just as nice of a guy off the court.
I'm glad you said that. I was worried what you were going to say. He's a real jerk.
And there are people like that, though. So here's a story for you. Tommy Pham is a baseball player he's bounced around the league. He was with the Cardinals and he was with the Padres. I think he played for the Mets. I can't remember where he's at. Diamondbacks, I think. I think he's with the Diamondbacks right now.
That sounds right.
Tommy Pham was a very good baseball player, and he knew it going through the system. But when my brother was working for the AA affiliate for the Cardinals, because he went through the Cardinals system, he said every player would walk through the club, like the main area before they got to the clubhouse, like the business office, if you will. They would walk through that area, say hello to almost anybody, head nod. They would always greet each other. Tommy Pham would be the only one that blew everybody off. It's something to remember, right?
Sox now, so it makes sense.
Okay, now he's a White Sox.
Yeah.
So that's what you get with all different personalities and pros. There are people that think their stuff don't stink, and there are plenty of others that are down to earth. There are also those that are even keeled. They may say hello sometimes, they may not. It doesn't really matter. You own yourself, and you have to own your own ways. And Baylor Sherman just isn't one of those guys, which is cool. And that's why I wanted to get the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, because you can see that in a video. But then I want to interact with the people that actually interacted with Baylor Sherman at the time. So Baylor, again, last pick of the NBA draft. He goes to the NBA champions, the Boston Celtics, a good team to go to, because if you think about it, what has been like a big piece to what that Celtics team's missing? Kind of a shooter like Baylor, somebody that will just pull up and shoot from any range. Tatum, he can do that, but he's more of a dribble drive scorer and a dribble pull up.
Same with Jaylen Brown. So
Jaylen Brown, a lot of the same. I mean, they were always compared to be very similar basketball players. Now they built pieces around those guys, and the Celtics will be good again next year. There's no doubt. But Baylor Sherman, let's see. I'm curious about how quickly he gets up into the league, how long he's in the G League for before he actually makes his first ever appearance. Because when you think about draft picks in the NBA, there's only 2 rounds. So the guys that get undrafted are very rarely making it to the league, the big show, the big stage. But if you are a first round pick, most times you're going to end up playing basketball in the NBA in some way, shape, or form. It may not be with the Celtics. He could get traded for all we know. But Baylor Sherman, I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to play in the NBA, at least coming off of 2 years ago. Not last year, because I think he elevated his game a ton last year, and his ability to get to the rack, rebound, use his size. He became less known as just a shooter last year. But all in all, the way he stepped up his game, that's what led to him being drafted, which is cool because, I mean, if you think about it, and this is not a knock on Trey Alexander, but he was the one guy that people thought was going to get drafted.
Yes.
2 years ago after Creighton lost that game in the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun connections there and a very good story there by Brandon Tiedemann. And again, you'll see him out and about at every single event that you can possibly imagine that Hurrdat Sports is putting on. Make sure to say hi. He is also a very humble guy outside of his ego. Unless he treats you like a jerk, let me know and I'll beat him up. End of story there. Now, I wanted to talk about something with you, Brandon, because I need that millennial mind for a moment. Okay. You're somebody that still plays video games. I'm somebody that still plays video games. And I thought this came out at the perfect time to have you on the show. College football 2025 is about to be released. And I still don't have a PS5, and my wife's going to kill me this week.
You're getting one?
That's the only way I can play. I'm like, babe, priorities. It's the only way I can play.
What else are you going to do with all that wedding money? You know?
Come on. I don't need to.
You should put it
in the house. Well, look, this is why I don't have to put anything. I should have put it in the registry. That's a great call. This is why I don't have to do anything to my house, because in the snap of a finger, it can look like this. In the snap of a finger. So
I like that piano. You know how to play? You play
I am a pianist.
Nice.
I've been a pianist for a long time.
6-foot pianist.
Yep. Well, is that a lot?
That's an average size pianist, I think.
Yeah. I mean, most pianists are a little bit smaller. Like they're kind of jockey size,
above average when it comes to
but I mean, yeah. Don't think that 4 feet is small. Don't think
you gotta be able to reach the pedals. That's the main thing. So
well, and sometimes you have to extend it a little bit to reach the pedals. So like if you need like stilts of any kind, you can push down. So 3 inches, 7 feet, whoever it is.
Get on that pianist.
All you have to know is that you need a strong pianist in life.
Yes.
Because if you go anywhere, you're going to want to hear some tunes.
Tickle the ivories.
Yep, yeah. We like to tickle the ivories here on Rogers Rules. We also like to tickle people's minds a little bit. And I want to tickle your minds for a moment.
Okay.
So College Football 2025 released their top 10 players. This is according to overall rating. And number 1 on that list is Will Johnson, the corner from Michigan. Very good player. He's 96 overall. Now, there's 3 guys that are 96 overall, so I guess we'll do tied for first, but this is just what the list had from 1 to 10. Number 2 is Will Campbell from LSU, left tackle. Number 3, Ollie Gordon II from Oklahoma State. I got to be quite honest with you guys. I'm somebody that follows fantasy, as you know. Like, I'm way ahead of the game when it comes to rookies and things like that. I've never heard of Ollie Gordon
at all.
II. Like, I know Oklahoma State wasn't good, and maybe that's the reason why I didn't pay close enough attention last season. But I know him now. If he's 96 overall in the game, he's definitely coming to my team next year. We know that for a fact.
Yeah, I'll let you continue because I'll pull my thoughts in next.
Oh, you're good. No, James Pierce Jr. at 4, Caleb Downs at 5, Travis Hunter at 6. Very talented two-way player, although he's listed as a wide receiver in the game. Malachi Starks, Mason Graham, Quinshawn Judkins, and Tate Ratledge. That is rounding out your top 10 for the game. Brandon, your initial thoughts on starting at 96 and going down to a 95. The top 10 players, no one is above a 96.
So wouldn't you want to put your 3 cover athletes at 96? Like, isn't that typically what like you would do? Because usually if you're a cover athlete, like when you're like
unless it's a popularity contest, because if you think about it, in Madden, at least, I mean, this is when Peyton Hillis was on the cover in like 2012. He had one good season. You wouldn't make Peyton Hillis like the best player in the game. So I don't know how they went about going, like placing these guys on the cover. I know that it was, you had one quarterback, one running back, one wide receiver, and you could buy like the copy that you wanted. But in terms of what you're saying, I don't really know how the voting process went. Was it a popularity contest where it was a poll, or was it, hey, we took the best quarterback in football, the best running back in football, best wide receiver, and so forth?
Yeah, I think they just did it. I mean, obviously we knew someone from Colorado was going to be on there, just because Colorado gets the clicks on everything. So
well, Travis Hunter is really good.
He's good. I think he's a great guy too. I think
he of any Colorado player is deserving to be on this page.
Exactly. Quinn Ewers, I think is he like a 93?
So I didn't look at everybody. I just looked at the top 10, but Quinn Ewers is in the 90s. Yes.
Yeah. And then Donovan Edwards, I know, was he's 90 something. I think I was watching like the in-depth gameplay the other day that he was in. So
yeah, such a beast.
It'll be a good game. I mean, it's good, hard.
If you look at the cover, is it all of these guys? So when we look at it, is it Ewers, Edwards, Hunter, Judkins? When it said every position, is it just all of those guys on one page in the tunnel, or is it like a literal copy of Travis Hunter on the cover or Quinn Ewers on the cover? Do we know?
I know they did a photo shoot for it.
Everybody?
Yeah, they all had a photo shoot for it.
See, that's why I'm looking at a lot of these. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to find out when it comes out. All right, let's say you're going to buy a copy. You have to buy one with everybody on it, right? Especially the deluxe edition that has the Nebraska flag in the background.
Obviously.
That's the one you have to buy. That's one people should be buying.
I was into too.
Hold on, guys. I got to really quickly leave my beach house. All right, I'm back. You know, teleportation became a real thing in podcasting. I don't know if you knew that.
We have the technology. I'm glad we finally brought it to the masses.
Okay, but I want to ask you guys this, because there are no 99s, and there's a 99 in everything. If you look in MLB The Show, you'll find a 99. If you look in Madden, you'll find a 99, and so forth down the list. With no 99s in college football, which I'm okay with, but also like a little confused that there wouldn't be a benchmark to hit out of all of these players. If there's no 99 in college football, let's go back maybe 5 years. Think within a 5-year window. Who do you think would have warranted a 99 overall rating? Let's take out tackles, let's take out corners, let's just go skill position players to make it easier on everybody out there. Let's get a quarterback, let's get a wide receiver, let's try to find a running back. Out of those guys, I mean, tight end for me, I think Brock Bowers would be a 99. Brock Bowers was stupid good last year.
Yeah, Brock Bowers. See, I was gonna say Tyler Lindenbaum from Iowa for center, but I guess we're not doing the line.
I mean, we can do a line. That's fine, man. I mean, I know you're an Iowa guy. If you want to toss out, lines, go for it. All I know is it's very hard. It's very hard to remember linemen, right?
Yes.
I mean, you can look at the most recent NFL draft and who did the Chargers take? Joe Thomas? Was that his name? Like, he's somebody that I would be like, okay. That's somebody that I'm like, this is it. This is the guy. Are you sure it was Joe Thomas, or was Joe Thomas the longtime Cleveland Brown?
That's probably the long
NFL draft pick 5. I can tell you where he went to the Chargers. He was pick number 5. He was a center.
Just can't tell us.
Can't tell you his last name. Joe Alt. That's what it was. Joe Alt. The offensive tackle from Notre Dame. See, it comes to me. All of those things come to me.
Give it a minute.
So he's somebody that I would say, okay, well, if you were taken in the top 5 of an NFL draft, you would most likely warrant somewhere between a 98 or a 99 and a 97, right? But in terms of who do you think, do you think Caleb Williams would have been a 99 last year?
No.
Last year, no.
Well, so, and not
like his high school year, probably, yeah.
But see, I don't want that to be the case because, like, if he was
Overall
his
top 5
Heisman year, he would have been then the next year.
Yes. Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
the game is built, a
Right.
year in advance. So I think Caleb Williams would have warranted a 99. I mean, he would have been considered the best quarterback to play with.
Yeah.
If you were building a team, he would be your Patrick Mahomes of college football.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes would be considered a 99 in the NFL. But maybe he's not. Like, because I don't actually think Brandon is like way off when he said no right away. Because maybe Caleb Williams was only a 97. Maybe he's not a 99. Joe Burrow, I think, was a 99. He's somebody that set an insane amount of records and would have been a 99 if he played one more season. Now, if the game came out when we knew it came out and didn't know he had 60 touchdown passes and 5,000 yards, it makes a lot of sense why he would have been like maybe a 95 or whatnot. But he would be somebody that I would give a 99 to. But that's not to say it's only based off of how many touchdown passes you can throw. Because rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins, when he was going for the Heisman Trophy in the year Kyler Murray won, I think in 2018, Dwayne Haskins threw like 50-something touchdowns. And it was insane. He had great stats for Ohio State. But I also don't think I would give Dwayne Haskins a 99 that year. So I guess it's really just in your head, popularity-wise, who you think is deserving of one. If I had to rest on a quarterback within the last 5 years, I'd give it to Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to say Baker Mayfield too. But
See, Baker Mayfield, though, I mean, he was a college guy. I mean, that dude won college.
And then everyone's always going to be like Johnny Manziel, but that's not past 5 years.
I would give Johnny Manziel a 99 because that dude was just special, overall special. But he may be also looked at as somebody that, let's say, RG3, right? RG3 when he went to the Redskins, or like RG3 on Baylor. Like maybe they're more like 96 guys than they are 99 guys.
Was he the last cover guy? Was it RG3 or was it the year?
No, it was the kid from Michigan.
Yeah.
2013, right? 2014. It was 2014. I can see him. Carry the 2. Can't figure it out. Can't figure out his name.
I might have the game here.
Look it up.
I think I have the game in my apartment.
Well, let's see. At running back, do you think a running back, can you think of one that would be like, hey, that guy would be a 99?
I wonder if he can still hear us. I don't think he can.
Oh, did he? He physically left.
He left to go get the game. Yeah.
Does he realize that we have access to the internet?
Dude.
I went to see if I could show the cover. I didn't have it. Yeah. No.
I was going to say, man, like we can look this up on the internet if we really have to. Denard Robinson was on the cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, going back to top running backs, who would you say is a running back that would be deserving of a 99?
Derrick Henry.
Okay.
That's over 5 years, right?
That is over 5 years. Yeah. But I'm okay with the thought.
Right.
What about like Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor.
He was stupid at Wisconsin.
Sore subject for Husker fans.
Yeah, but he was so good.
McCaffrey. Nope, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be 5 years.
But even when he was in college, yeah, I think so. Christian McCaffrey was awesome.
What about Travis Etienne?
Now, I don't know if I'd give him a 99 because that team was essentially led mostly by quarterback play. Like when you had a guy like Trevor Lawrence, before Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, was Kelly Bryant smashed between those two? Kelly Bryant, the guy that bounced around, was supposed to be the guy that took over for Deshaun. I think that's who it was. I think Jonathan Taylor's a really good one.
Bijan
is another very good one, but is he a 99? Yeah, he was really good too. It's interesting because I really don't know like where to set the benchmark. Jonathan Taylor had the stats to deserve to be a 99. I don't really know if Bijan had as good of stats as Jonathan Taylor, but that's not to say that Bijan wouldn't be in the upper 90s. It's just it's a fun little project to kind of think about. Cam, Is there anybody that you remember over the last 5 years that you would say yes to? I mean, I know that you're probably going to flock to your Chiefs, and don't say Patrick Mahomes because nobody thought Patrick Mahomes was a 99.
No, and I wasn't going to do that. Actually, Brandon and I were kind of hanging out before you got to the show today, and we decided that we're a couple Hawkeye fans, so all of our answers are going to be Hawkeye based.
Okay, hit me with it.
Just going to mess you up.
Don't say Cade McNamara.
There's a couple. First off, I just thought Cooper DeJean would be cool as a 99 because he's just a beast. He had some pretty.
He's awesome. I just don't know if he's 99 worthy, but you're hitting close to my heart because Cooper's my boy.
Yeah. What about? And then it's like, well, the 5 years. That's not a lot in the last 5 years for Iowa, but I think T.J. Hawkinson would be a nice one.
Mm-hmm. T.J. Oh, actually, Sam Laporta.
That'd be good too. Yeah.
I mean, tight end you over there at Iowa.
What about old C.J. Beathard? Beat hard.
I don't know about C.J. Beathard. I'm sorry to say. I would back your Aussie kicker more than I would back C.J. Beathard.
Dude,
okay,
beat hard, man. Get out of here.
So wide receivers, though, I think is where you can get a lot of them. Like you have Jamar Chase. You have. I wouldn't put Justin Jefferson in that mix because nobody thought Justin Jefferson was who he ended up being in the NFL. But you have Jamar Chase. You have like everybody in an Ohio State uniform.
Yeah.
In terms of Chris Olave,
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, with Marvin Harrison Jr., like, yes, I would agree. It's just so recent that I'm like, I don't want to like grab guys immediately from last year, but I mean, deservingly so. Marvin Harrison Jr. was unbelievable. Who was Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson's another guy that was like, oh my gosh, he was stupid good.
Devontae
Smith was awesome. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, when he was at Oklahoma, was unbelievable. I mean, these are guys that I think would be deserving of 99s.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, golly. I mean,
that's really it. Because that's a 5-year benchmark we have.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think in terms of, okay, who did we see in the national title outside of just Alabama? Like Georgia. Who are our Georgia receivers? Speaking of Georgia, like Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I ran
Nick
across
Chubb
his
was
name earlier, too.
unbelievable.
Yeah, Chubb was great. Yeah, Clemson was in there a couple times, right?
Yeah, Clemson, but I'm trying to think of like, I mean, Hunter Renfrow would not be deserving of it. Mike Williams would have been too far along, I think, from like the 5-year window. You have those Ohio State teams that we hit. What'd you say?
T. Higgins,
maybe. I mean, I liked T. Higgins, but I don't think he was a 99. I mean, even in rookie drafts, he was going in the second round, like
DD
late first, early second. I would not give it to DD. Let's just stick there. I think we have a good little spread of players. I mean, Jerry Jeudy was really good. But Jerry Jeudy, it's hard because when these guys don't amount to anything in the NFL, when you get a lot of the guys that don't amount to much, and then you get the guys that do really play insanely well, like Justin Jefferson, it's hard to kind of separate those two things. But we have to really think just college. And in terms of just college production, if we were building a 99 team, I would say our quarterback would have to be Joe Burrow.
Yes.
I think by far it has to just be Joe Burrow's the name that we land on, even though, sorry, Cam, that's your rival.
Hey, I got stuck with Joe Burrow last year. It's not the first time I've had to pick Joe Burrow.
I'm okay with having an alternate in terms of a running back. I think it should be Jonathan Taylor, but I'm okay hearing other options as well.
I like that Nick Chubb you threw out earlier. That was pretty
Nick
good.
Chubb, I think, is a great one.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do an interchangeable Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor sort of roster.
What did you say, Brandon?
I think
He said Bijan.
One.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson was, and like I said, he very good college running back, and just a stud.
And Saquon Barkley.
Ooh, Saquon! I forgot about him. Oh, he would have been a 99. in college, he absolutely would have been a 99, no doubt. What a pull there, Brandon.
Thank
And
you.
I forget about Saquon. I thought he should have gone number 1 in that draft when Baker went over him.
Did he go number 2?
He went number 2. Yeah, there's not a lot of running backs that go second overall.
Right.
I think Saquon Barkley is deserving of the overall 99. Way to dig that out of the vault.
He's the winner. He gets the award.
So we have Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, and our wide receiver. I mean, Devontae Smith won the Heisman.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Well, we can get 2. Technically, we can get 3 if we wanted to be realistic here.
Like, I think Jamar Chase should be, because he went like 3rd or 4th in the NFL draft. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
So would you do Devontae, Jamar Chase, and then who would you put in the slot?
I mean, Devontae theoretically could play the slot.
Yeah.
He's fits that size, that mold very well. Remember when Tavon Austin went super early? He was so good at West Virginia. Have you ever looked up Tavon Austin highlights?
Every guy. There's always one time when you're hanging out with your friends in high school where you throw on the Tavon Austin highlights because there's one guy who hasn't seen it, and then the next 12 minutes you're just happy.
Tavon Austin, did he go 4th overall too? Oh man, what a poor pick by the Rams. He may have gone 8th. He did go 8th. Top 10 pick, Tavon Austin. What a bust he was. Anyway, I was just thinking of crazy awesome highlights that I watched in terms of slot receivers. And that dude was unreal. All right, so you have Devontae Smith. We'll throw him in the slot. That's fine. 2 guys out wide. I would throw Chase out wide. And I would throw
Jackson Smith and Jigba, maybe.
He was good. I don't think he was as
good as Marvin.
Well, Marvin Harrison Jr., he was so good. Let's make Marvin Harrison Jr. our other guy, because I was debating on him and Garrett Wilson, and I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a great choice. So we'll make Marvin Harrison Jr., and then our tight end, I would pick Brock Bowers over a guy like Laporta, just because I think in terms of production, Bowers did it and had an easier chance to do it because he played on a better team. But Sam Laporta, he may be a little more well-rounded in terms of blocking tight end and route runner. George Kittle's too old for this. I'd let you choose. Sam Laporta's high up there for me, but I would still give Bowers the nod.
I'm put Laporta at fullback. He ran a few fullback plays.
We'll just throw tight ends wherever we want.
What about Noah Fant? Noah Fant, if we're gonna get an Iowa guy.
Yeah, Noah Fant's a good, but I wouldn't consider him a 99.
Whatever, dude.
If anybody's going to be if anybody's going to be a 99, it's Nate Borkature.
Fine.
Dylan Raiola is this year's 99. I think we got a pretty strong team.
It's just a high school football 25. Dylan Raiola.
If I was building a team, like if I really sat down and built like a dynasty team, and my team was Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, college, Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, although I'd probably go for a running quarterback just because, but for the sake, Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, Marvin Harrison Jr., we had Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase. I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, you're taking
pretty happy with that team.
For sure.
I'm taking home plenty of trophies.
All
the trophies.
That's what I mean. Like if that was my ultimate team and Brock Bowers, oh my goodness.
Oh.
Say less. I don't even need a defense. I'll just score more points than the other team. I'm wasting all my money. Is this an auction draft? Because I'm spending in the first 4 picks.
I think Marshall defense.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care if they're shoot. Give me those Oklahoma defenses when Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield were playing the games that were 42-41. I'm still winning.
Yeah.
Pretty fun exercise. And I think it's kind of hard to say who really is a 99 and who isn't. But I think we laid out a pretty good case for our 99s.
I think people should build their own. Give us your comments on what you would think would be your 99 team.
Yeah, did we get it right? Let us know.
Probably not, but that's.
I don't know. I think we're pretty darn close.
I mean, it's a really damn good team. I'm not gonna lie.
I think we're pretty close to what could be a 99 overall team, because you don't see those.
Yeah, it's the cheat code team. It's like when back in the day when can you still do that in those games where you just like put people on certain teams, you just draft people around? Because I remember I used to do that with like whatever.
Yeah, yes and no.
Like you can a football 96 or whatever it was on Sega. I would just make a really badass team.
So what you can do now in Madden is turn on forced trades. So if you're making a season and you're like, okay, I'm going to draft like all of the 99 guys, and then my wide receivers are going to be Robert Woods, X, Y, and Z, and Gabe Davis. And so like I would just go on. Yeah, I don't do this because I just think it's ridiculous, but you could go and say Gabe Davis, and I want to trade Brandon's computer-generated team for Justin Jefferson. 99 for me, you get my 78. And the computer just accepts it because you have the setting forced trades on. So technically, yes, you can still do that.
Nice. That's cool.
But I wouldn't recommend it. It's a lot of time. And then it wouldn't be very fun to play.
Yeah, it's cheating. You're just going to crush.
You used to be able to like import rosters. Like I know in like 2K, like my friends wouldn't buy the new ones, so we just import the roster from the this.
And you can still do that. Still do that. I know a lot of people did that for NCAA football. People would make computer-generated players and import the rosters each year on NCAA 14 and just play with the most recent guys. Now, granted, they don't look anything like that. Like CeeDee Lamb doesn't look like CeeDee Lamb in that game, but CeeDee Lamb is still given let's just say a 95 in the college football, and you can play with those teams, which I think is a very good addition and a good kind of bridge to get to where we are for college football fans to be able to play this. Now, do I think college football should be a little more widespread than it is? Absolutely. I don't think you should force people to buy the newest console in order to play your game. Why wouldn't you make it accessible for, say, a PS4
or PlayStation 1 or whoever?
Well, I'm thinking about it like that, and I understand why, because like the makers of these games, I mean, are in cahoots, or they're in bed with Microsoft and PlayStation and all of them. Like they're all in bed with one another, so they're just trying to make more money off of people. They want me to have to buy the new console, but I would still buy the game. If you would list the game, if you said, hey, it's a $70 game, which I think is crazy. It's a $70 game. If you have the PS5, it's $70, I'd be like, okay. And if you have a PS4 and you want the game and you charged $120 for the game, I would pay the $120 for the game. Actually, I don't know about that. I probably would just buy the PS5 at that point.
What is it, like $800 for a PS5?
No, PS5s are more like $450
now.
You on Facebook Marketplace cheaper?
Can you?
Of course.
Yeah, you have to make sure like it doesn't. Like I got my Xbox for like $200.
Interesting.
But
Andrew may be searching on Facebook Marketplace.
He's a savvy consumer, though. I mean,
Brandon, what I need you to do is find me a PS5.
You got a coupon for that?
Yeah, extreme couponer over there. I need you to find me a PS5.
Well, you have to look in. I mean, I have to then change my location to St. Louis. So.
No, you don't. I'm in Omaha every month.
I can look right now. But yeah, I mean, that's what I did. You also run the risk.
I need my PS5 in 3 days. I need my PS5 in 3 days so I can play.
I can make some calls.
Yeah, that a boy. Not only is he a utility player for Hurrdat Sports, he has the makings of an incredible utility player outside of the business. That's Brandon Tiedemann. He's Kahm Broham. I'm Andrew Rogers. What a show. What a show today.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rogers, but I would like to say this. If you said at the beginning that I'm the one with the beard, he's the one with the mustache, but I think if you line the three of us up, we're like progression of puberty. I think that's the whole deal.
Well, I just shaved.
And that's all I want to do. I just wanted to add that at the end. I thought about it the entire episode. I finally found
5 o'clock shadow up in the top of your page. You go to the right and you see. Give me a little.
Oh yeah,
full head swivel. Give me a full head swivel, Brando. It's like you're giving your new iPhone the Face ID. They need all forms of your face. You get the mustache. I must ask you a question, but I'm shaving it for later. And down below, you have the guy that
lost in the woods.
He should not be editing podcasts. He should be chopping wood.
Yeah.
Kahm Broham.
Not lost in the woods, man. My bad.
Hey, we
Just getting
found
back to society. I don't know how it works.
He is Arrow before he returned to society. That is Kahm Broham. And this is Rogers Rulez, a fun show. Brandon, thanks for joining us, man. And we'll have you back on again soon.
Sounds good.
And we will see you next time when Rogers Rulez appears.